I don't need to tell you that with the election done and dusted, this country still faces monumental problems. The election hasn't fixed a thing. There's still a cost of living crisis. We're heading for $1 trillion of debt within a few months, budget deficits for decades to come, electricity prices that keep going up even as we run short of power, a defence, personnel and equipment crisis at a time of strategic threats. I could go on, but you get the picture. So, having trespassed against our good nature with a drawn-out and uninspiring election campaign, our politicians are now treating us to the leadership sideshows as they haggle over the meagre spoils of victory and the sad consolations of defeat. Let's start with Labor. This is the Union's party, of course. All Labor MPs need to be union members, and all but the rarest of them sign up to a faction as well. They rise by the favour of factional number crunchers, but then it doesn't stop them whinging when those same forces demote them.
The difficult issue here is that we've had sort of barefaced ambition and a Deputy Prime Minister wield a factional club to reshape the ministry. I think when people look at a Deputy Prime Minister, they expect to see a statesman, not a factional assassin.
Yeah, that's Ed Husic there yesterday, the former Industry Minister, nice enough bloke, but wasn't setting the world on fire, dropped from Cabinet post-election. He didn't just lash out at the party, at the factions and the Deputy Prime Minister, Richard Marles. He also had a crack at the Prime Minister as well.
The PM had great authority coming out of the election. I think if he'd exercised it in a way that provided for stability and a strong team that had been there and could go forward, no one would have quibbled about that.
Look, we understand the personal disappointment, but it's a pretty simple equation. This is the Labor way. This is how Labor's factional politics works. It's what these people sign up to. I think it's pretty appalling myself, but I wouldn't sign up for it. And it's just a little bit hypocritical, not to mention pathetic, when you see the same people who have climbed this greasy pole complaining about the system when they slide back down. I mean, if they think politics should be about merit and personal choice instead of compulsory unionism and factional power plays, there are other political parties you could join. So, along with former Attorney General Mark Dreyfus, Husic is out now. And apart from whinging about the very system he's backed for decades, Husic's dummy spit has, of course, highlighted to the rest of the nation, acted as a timely reminder, if you like, that this is how Labor works. The Prime Minister, in the end, exercises power only to the extent that the union bosses and the factional chiefs allow him.
The process occurred in the normal way of the caucus, the way that we select the ministry, and I had a constructive discussion with Ed this morning. I always have constructive discussions with caucus members and indeed with other members of the Parliament. What I've done is to allocate portfolios. That's a system that's there. It's one that Ed and others have supported for a long period of time.
Now, the rest of the Cabinet reshuffle announced today is not a major reset. There are only a few noteworthy points. First up, incredibly, Chris Bowen stays in climate and energy. So you can expect that particular disaster to continue. What a slap in the face to the nation. Tanya Plibersek, well, she's been shifted from the environment to social services, which is a bit like being shifted from a beach resort to the factory floor. So I doubt she'll be very happy. And in a significant promotion, the former Communications Minister, Michelle Rowland, takes the Attorney General's role. So this is not much of a shake-up. There is no sign in this reshuffle that Labor understands it needs to do better. And while no one can deny them a huge majority and a thumping electoral victory, they shouldn't misinterpret that as some sign that they're actually governing well. The challenges remain and the solutions are not on the table. So there is no sign today that this government is going to improve.